Welcome to SyncLondon. This is the second event that we've ever hosted. The first one was twice oversubscribed, and this one we made it full. So I was very excited to see that people in London are hyped and ready to kind of check out Local First. Just a show of hands, how many people have heard of Local First, like the software pattern, before coming to this event? All right, now this makes me feel so happy. I'm personally very invested in this movement because, well, internet has gotten really shitty, and like it's so bad that now I like you have products of products like Mint to manage your apps, password managers to manage passwords. This is not a limitation of technology per se. It's just that we're so down the rabbit hole in businesses building moats that like everything is so slow. And while they were talking, I found this tweet that like really set everything for me. It's my own tweet. Uh, and so this is a conference app, and it's in a basement too. So you can imagine this was the happy experience. So you switch around, you open the same event, right? Like I clicked that one event spinner. I saw it. I went back and then I tried to click it again, like many more spinners. Well, let me find it just for specificity. And it was just so annoying. And like this thing had a maybe a 30 kilobyte database that needed to run the whole thing. And lucky enough, this one kid like built it all locally, and that's what that experience looks like. So there were some doubters out there where Peter mentioned that he might rebuild everything and be an empire builder. This experience is further evidence that we need to go down the lines of instant apps. And I'm reasoning with you guys from benefit first before I get you to be persuaded about the movement. So let's all come and build instant apps. But as a side effect of that, we can even build a world where users get to own their data. So this when something is just a sync engine, it means you can Docker deploy that entire backend and have it running locally. And there's no reason when there are many sync engines for them not to be able to talk together about you. So you can build this substrate of data that maybe my budgeting app will be able to show me that $600 Nike purchase that blew up my budget, or like a travel trip that had like bunch of reservations being organized and like shown in an itinerary view on my trip app. None of these things are possible because they're all kind of locked away in a silo. Sync to me is a path to local first. So you first solve conflict resolution problems. Then you start building all of these operational transform like setups where you make a modification and you're not pushing all of the state. You kind of just do diffs and get that patched. These are all fundamental first steps for you to be on your path to build something that's local first. And if you're wondering, wait, like sync local first, I'm a little bit confused. So local first in its like precise kind of term was coined in 2019 when Martin Kleppmann and a bunch of authors put together this paper in Ink and Switch. And it has these 7 ideals. No spinners. I already showed you that conference app. God, the number of times I had to open that app and want to throw my phone out the room is just insane. So number 1, no spinners. And with Sync and these engines, we've already got that. And it shouldn't be local only. Like in the Jazz presentations, you saw local first is not equal to client only. That was the 80s or whenever we had floppy disk apps. We're in the cloud world. Multiplayer is almost expected from any product you ship, but beyond that, it's like instant responsiveness. And you're able to do that with a lot of optimistic updates where the network is optional. Now, 1, 2, and 3, thanks to great people like Electric and Jazz building wonderful platforms, they've been democratized for anybody in this room to be up and running with an app that can do these things. And it gets a little bit more trickier when you're doing seamless collaboration among people. But the things that are really hard and that deserve our attention are these like aspirational ideals for the long now. So 3 weeks ago, Pocket, and has anybody ever used Pocket bookmarking app? Oh, wow. This is like the best audience I could have had this talk to. So I got dumped with a CSV. It's like it's not a great way to have a bookmarking app that you've been saving things for 18 years. Just say, here's a CSV of all the bookmarks. Do you? That was a very annoying thing. And it's like I was extra salty because it was Mozilla that bought them, stripped the customers, and then shut it down. And these are happening more and more often, like as we're sort of getting into the AI age where unless you're growing 100 million ARR every year, your company's getting shut down soon. And so the long now essentially says like the software and tools that you are able to use today should not be dependent or predicated on the company existing going forward. So that really hit me home. And now I even want to rescue Pocket with a fork that's self-hosted just so I can use it as a marketing gimmick saying the long now is essential. Let's all get behind the local first movement and push it forward. The security and privacy by default, we've gotten some progress with encryption in Jazz and some other unique implementations where you can do self-hosted encrypted syncs. The path to retaining your ultimate ownership and control, that's a lot more challenging. We have like full app layer, server layer, like UX, UI kind of all intertwined. And what would a future look like if I had all my apps data with me and owned by me? I get excited when I think about the email budget and like integrations, but if you think about it, you have so many hours of watch history on Netflix. And then if you had to go to a new platform like Hulu, you have to start from scratch. There's no technological reason why those two AIs cannot leverage each other. But even beyond that, why should I sign up? I should give them access to verify who I am, and I should give them access to the AI that I own that recommends the shows and movies that I like based on their inventory. And when you blow this up at a macro scale, it means the internet is not a cloud first environment. It is a your data first with services getting access to it. I recently ran into like a card reader, not a card reader, a flashcard app, because I wanted to build up my dictionary so I can clown on people. And it asked me to sign up. I'm like, okay, fine, sign in with Google. It's like, oh, billing address and credit card. I'm like, why do you need that? It's like, there's a pro plan that you might want. And I'm like, why do you need all of this information? Like, I just needed you to be a little card that flips dictionary words like maybe once or twice a day. And we've gotten so far off the delighting users and putting them in control that this local first movement, in my mind, is really essential. Now back to reality is like, why is this so valuable today that we should all go behind and like stake our careers on it? It is the simplest way for machines and humans to collaborate. So I've built Vella. Should tell you a little bit myself. I'm originally from Ethiopia, moved to the States and like did LinkedIn, Qualcomm. I got tired of very small engineering tasks that paid a lot of money, but you didn't really learn anything. So then I did my MBA and now I'm building Vella, which is supposed to help you build that personal cloud with an AI, with an email play. So AI powered email. I'm trying to get you halfway there from all the data that's in your email and build this intelligence on top of that. So if you think about all the different ways like an email can be used, I can tell you specifically an unsubscribe button that should work. So an email can send you like a list subscription, but the unsubscribe URL can be a post request in the header. It can be a URL at the bottom, or there's these markups where there's like an list unsubscribe kind of value. Now, if Google sees any of the formal ones, it's able to kind of give you that button. Most of the case, that button is like an elevator closed door button, and it's so frustrating. So I want to build an unsubscribe feature that when available, you click it and that's done. And you schedule sort of a browser use session where it opens that link at the bottom of the email and then goes in and says like, don't talk to me ever again. And then maybe there's even like a local language model that when I can't parse that unsubscribe link, will read that email and then try to extract that and actually do that locally. So what I just described in like 2010s is like, oh, I tried to find unsubscribe, it's not there. User, good luck. In the 2025s, what we have is like a single data variable, which is an unsubscribe URL that can be immediately populated on one user flow. That can be in like 2 minutes populated when the local LLM runs it, or in orders of like evenings when something in the cloud kind of did a browser session, a worker was free and it tried it. And that propagation consultation on like how do you describe that state? It could look like, is local run done, is remote done, is LLM done? It doesn't lend itself to collaboration. In the sync version of the story, it's more like a state that is reactive, sort of like React, two different agents collaborating. So we have created a queue that says like unsubscribe task, and many different resources can try tackling that task, and every one of them publish their resource progress. And the sort of conclusion of the UI is updated by any one of these things, and it's introspectable, upgradable, and you can create like custom rules to like run an unsubscribe attempt if a local LLM tried but wasn't sure. I don't know if that's even a thing they can say. But what I'm trying to get at is sync fundamentally is the best way to engineer your organization, your code base, so that you can collaborate with agents and humans. And we had James also mention that like organizing your entire business to be ready for agents. This, I think, is the first step into thinking that way. Now, for some of you here, there's been some talk about is local first or lo-fi sync or not? Is it loci versus sync, local first sync? And like, what are some syncs that don't do lo-fi? It's nonsense. I don't really want to care about those little edges. It's a false duality. We can all kind of push things a lot further by just focusing on like improving things for the better. And sync is already getting us a lot of the ways there in 1 through 3. And there are some things to be discussed about personal identity. What is a self-sovereign login versus like a Google login? But we should be very big tent and like focus on moving the industry as a whole forward, because we're really that little button over at the bottom. If you can't see it. There's a huge opportunity ahead of us, and we literally can't topple down every one of these big company platforms. Like calendars have to be rebuilt. Like Notion is doing some really cool things, and like you see a lot of like email, calendar, meeting, transcription, and all of these things. Every one of them, the expectations are just getting increasingly better. So to tie up my rant about local first sync and how we should all develop, definitely just get in on sync. Guess I forgot to add the description. Then offline first. I love how Figma tells me what I should do, and I like clearly ignore it. Enough context. And then graduate to local first. Give the users a pathway to owning their data, exporting out if you're no longer in service. And these ideals, I think, are important, and we should strive for them. But like, just so I have some credibility with you guys, let me just pull up some demos. So this is Vella. Everything you see is running locally. And we thought like a ton of AI would be one of the most impactful things we can do, but we found out literally grouping the inbox by the sender's domain seems to be the most impactful thing I could have done for people's emails. So you'll find like little things like that, but let's get back on topic and say there's like a small classifier that will try to decide if these things are travel related, promo. Well, I have the clean inbox that you're looking at. There's a trashier one nearby, but being able to sort of actually look at a trip in an itinerary view that had like days, this was mocked in as a demo, by the way, days, suggestions and stuff, being able to have an LLM do a lot of these thinking, and a local tab that does newsletters. So this is the mobile app, everything local. So don't let people sort of tell you that it's not really that possible to build apps that are local only. This is a clear definition of that. But when you start thinking at a higher scale, now that I have more screen real estate, there'll be cool things if I could. I thought I was already logged in. Oh, well, let's do that real quick. This is how you know this is a real live demo. I need to avoid this one email that blows up the inbox though. So you could like select a bunch and then like queue draft generation, so that like basically you have like this worker that's like off and trying to build you like drafts. And the idea is like, how would you organize this when you have like token streaming coming out, different states to handle, and being able to, you see how it's like this was being generated by an LLM into an email that I didn't open. I don't know what I would say to Lenny. I'm actually curious. Which one is it on? The demo guys didn't get the proper sacrifices. All right. So, anyways, the real annoying feature that we were finishing last Friday, but now it looks like it's going to be this Friday, is like how do you collaborate on a draft with humans and AI? And like it shouldn't just be like one email; it could be like multiple workloads that you've queued off. One answer is trigger, but Vella is built like there's no server between Gmail and your app. So that's where these things that we had to reinvent our way in. And if you weren't impressed by the Dreamland, is it Dreamscape? Dreamala demo of like him kind of removing a label. Like we have to like wait for the server to persist it. See, the good things that are like working better when I'm trying to demo something bad, it didn't work. So when I'm trying to tag something and like it would be like a spinner that waits for the server response. It's a little bit different than the optimistic update, like right there when he made tag modifications. So we're still kind of on our way onto our sync journey, but I kind of thought you guys would get a kick out of that. So to close out, I know it's getting hot in here. Structured memory connected across all your data, I think is going to be the last moat. So your personal cloud data substrate that powers all your apps. We're very excited about building to that, but people usually fall in love with products, not protocols and ideals. And that's why I started with like material benefit of instant applications. This is kind of where we're taking Vella. We get you in on email and clear out your inbox faster than any other tool that you can use, and then slowly build out that structured substrate for ChatGPT with memory, or like that bot that Sarah that was listening in on conversation. There's no reason that can't be an agent you add to your structured data. So it listens for new flights, new meeting reminders, new drafts. Hopefully people don't wear those weird like IO devices, but if we get there, it'll be listening to the conversations as well. I'll skip that. So thank you. And if you haven't, please join LoFi.so. We have a Discord community of something like 4,000 developers, and we've created SyncLondon channel within our spaces. And there's a SyncX Luma newsletter. All of these efforts are to get everybody to work together, get to know each other. All of us working in isolation won't make a dent, but if we are kind of together, some of the parts are just going to be so much larger. So thank you. And like James has always been amazing in putting these together. And I want to give a handout. I want to clap for James for all the work he's done for us. Thank you.